What's up, Garrett? Sorry, I want to scare you because I know you have your headphones on. It's the Playmaker football betting show, the most fun, entertaining, and statistically accurate podcast. What's up, Garrett?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Good, man. Just trying to bring that 9 p.m. energy on a Wednesday because we do it every weekend.
Yes,
Garrett,
absolutely. Every Wednesday
in the
night.
studio, bro.
Bro, I love it. It's looking fresh. You know, I'm hoping to get rid of the green screen one day and maybe look at it as nice as yours. We'll get there one day.
I know. I'm gonna decorate this wall, keep the other one blank. I think I just ordered some new pieces too from this guy on Instagram. I got some Philly stuff coming in and Eagles artwork, so I'm very excited.
I'm looking forward to it, bro. I'm looking forward to see the new studio you got brewing over there.
I know. I got it's not a huge room, but I got everything I need. I got my bookshelf, my TV, and then obviously my wall. So we're Gucci. We're ready to pod, dude, as the kids say.
Absolutely, bro. And then we got a great slate of games coming up this week. Week 10. Can't believe it's already week 10. Can you believe that?
I know, man. It goes by so quick, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I just remember, oh shit, it's football season. We got preseason coming up, and then now it's week 10. It's like, damn, we're almost done. What the hell?
For real, though. But you know who's been good to us all season long is our friends over at PointsBet. Guys, all the odds that we are using on this show, if it's minus 107, plus 100, they're all coming from PointsBet. So, guys, we've mentioned this before, but PointsBet is the best sports book in the game. I'm just trying to find something here. What's their offer? Their offer, all you got to do is scan that QR code. You register. For all new users, register. You get up to $2,000 in free bets. So if you don't have PointsBet and you're looking for some free bets, scan that QR code, sign up. You're going to get free bets. It's that easy. They're so nice. They give me free bets all the time. I hit it was a same game parlay. I had Ravens money line and Lamar over 60 yards, and he crushed both of those. I was like, dude, free bet, and it wins. It's it's the little things in life,
right? Who doesn't like free money, right? Free money,
free bets, free money. I'm gonna be in Atlantic City tomorrow, so we're gonna be watching this exciting Thursday night football game between the Panthers and the Falcons. Garrett, why don't you take it away and tell me what you're looking at in this Thursday night matchup? Again, a shout out Jeff Bezos and Prime for putting on premier sports content every Thursday night.
Oh, this is as premier as you could possibly get on Thursday night in NFL. Atlanta Falcons taking on the Carolina Panthers. Where do I start? I'm going to take the Falcons minus 2.5. I kind of feel like we kind of have to. The Panthers are in shambles at this point. They fired pretty much everyone on the coaching staff. They just got a head coach, and that's pretty much it. PJ Walker was atrocious to the point where they had to put in Baker Mayfield last week. And I don't think it's going to be too much different here. I know PJ Walker is getting the start. He did well last time with the Falcons, but I feel like they're just the whole offense as a whole is just deteriorating. Even as bad as the Falcons are defensively, I don't think the Panthers could be able to capitalize. You're also talking about the Falcons are one of the top rushing teams in the league, averaging 162.9 rushing yards per game. You look at the Panthers, they're the 5th worst rushing defense in the league, giving up 139.3 per game. And then the last time they ran against each other, they gave up over 160 rushing yards as well. So I feel like it's going to be grounded out. And Cordero Patterson's back in the mix. They got 3 good running backs. Mariota is also basically a running back at this point. He barely passes the ball. You got 4 running backs, and Panthers can't do anything to stop it. I think it's just a no-brainer at this point. Give me the Falcons, lay the 2.5, and just keep it moving.
I'm with you on that for tomorrow. I will also be laying the 2.5 with the Falcons. Like you said, Panthers pretty much punted away the season after they traded away Christian McCaffrey. They're an abysmal 2-7 on the season. Falcons are continuing to cover the spread. 6-3 record against the spread, even though those 3 games they didn't cover were their last 3 games. So maybe they get back on the right track. Going to cover this game. It's hard to brag about Marcus Mariota, but the dude does have a better passer rating, depending on how much you weigh passer rating. Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers, Kyler Murray, Matthew Stafford. And I know those quarterbacks haven't had the same seasons as they have previously. But Falcons are a top 9 team in points scored per game. So they're finding ways to score. They're keeping things close. They can't pass the ball. They rank 30th in passing yards. But like you said, they do run the ball very well. 4th in rushing yards. Panthers aren't even averaging 20 points per game. We all know how this ended up last time. DJ Moore scores. He took off his helmet, blah, blah, blah. So that was a very close game. That game was decided by 3 points. Carolina's defense, one of the worst in the league. So for those reasons, I'm okay with laying that 2.5. And then also, I'm going to get back to what we were talking about. I think we have the same prop play in this game as well. Very confident about that one. I'm looking at it, and it's been moving already if you've been looking at it. So why don't you take that away?
I know this is actually going to be on PrizePicks, but I mean, even so, if you have this prop, I would definitely bet it on your sports books. Cordero Patterson, more than 53.5 rushing yards. I think that's a steal. He just had a limited amount, coming back off his injury in his last game, and he got almost 50 yards just off like 12 carries and 2 touchdowns. I think he's going to have more carries here, more opportunities. The Panthers are terrible against the run. And when I was looking at this PrizePicks, it went from over 48 to 53.5 within 2 minutes. Like it went like that quick. If you're going to bet it now, because like you said, it's going up, and I don't feel like it's going to stop anytime soon.
Last weekend, Cordero Patterson came back from his injury. He got 44 yards on 13 rushing attempts with 2 touchdowns. He's got 39% of the snap share last week, and he leads the backfield in goal line rushes and rushing attempts. Dude's going to find the end zone. He's going to hit this over. He's going against his Panthers team, who just gave up over 50 fantasy points to Joe Mixon. And it's the 3rd time in 5 weeks that opposing running backs have scored more than 25 points against them. On a short week, take his props, take over on all of his props, and even look at that anytime touchdown. I think those all cash.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a monster game, especially if you have him in fantasy. You have to put him in your lineup. He's a must play this week.
I know everyone at home that's watching this on Twitter, constantly every weekend they ask, Peter, Garrett, where do you guys get this information? How are you so intelligent and good looking at the same time? It's really an anomaly that you guys are so educated and so smart around sports and football and all these statistics. And it's really easy, guys, because we use FTN Bets. And if you want to be as smart, get this information, all this kind of stuff that breaks down rankings, stuff like that, go to ftnbets.com/free and you get a free 3-day trial. It's really nice. It's home for all your legal sports betting tools, picks, odds, advanced betting, models, parlay calculators, all that good stuff to make more informed decisions and profitable bets. So that's that. Check it out.
Absolutely, guys. Go over there. They got some of the bets stats you can, like stat models and other types of tools that you can really use to really up your game and make the best possible picks at the end of the day.
Let's get into Sunday. We got 3 picks each for Sunday. Garrett, I mean, what you got, man?
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm taking the Bears -2.5.
Woo, man.
At -115.
Excited from last week.
I guess it's maybe because they're going against the Detroit Lions, and the Lions is just one team I just have to fade. I faded them last week, didn't do so well with the Packers, but that's neither here nor there. That was abysmal. But the Bears are actually I think they're a lot better than the record is showing at 3-6. They're showing a lot of promise. Justin Fields is finally looking like the quarterback that the Bears fans have really been wanting to see. He rushed for 178 yards last game with the touchdown. He threw for 123 and 3 touchdowns. He had 4 total touchdowns against an abysmal Miami Dolphins defense. And then he gets another abysmal defense in the Detroit Lions. Lions defense is they're giving up the second most rushing yards per game, 148.8 per game. The Bears are number 1 in rushing offense, which is kind of crazy because they're averaging more rushing yards per game than the Baltimore Ravens, and that's kind of unheard of. They're averaging 195 yards per game on the ground. And I feel like they should be able to run all over the Lions. Also, the Lions are only 1-2 against the spread on the road, and they're losing by an average of 17 points per game on the road. So I'm taking the Bears, and I'm laying the 2.5 to get it done.
I like it. I have some other props in that game because those are two teams who have two of the worst rush defenses in the NFL. So we're going to talk about that later when we get to it, but check out some running back props against the Bears, against the Texans, and against the Lions. Some of the worst run defense we have seen. So like it, Garrett, going with the Bears, bearing down. I can always get down with that. I'm going with plus money, baby. I'm going plus money with Geno motherfucking Smith, dude. Geno Smith, put some respect on his name, has the 6th most passing yards this season. Only 5 other quarterbacks have more passing yards than him. Nobody in the NFL has a higher completion percentage than Geno. Nobody believed in this guy. He believed in himself. Seahawks are a top 11 team in yards per game. They can move the ball effectively on the ground with Kenneth Walker, who, by the way, has 7 touchdowns, which is 4th best in the NFL by a running back. Only 3 other running backs have more. The Bucs are outmatched in every offensive category besides passing yards. How can I trust a team that doesn't average more than 18 points per game? Bucs defense, though. Bucs defense is going to be the ones that are keeping them in this game per usual, like they have all season, ranking 5th in points against this season. Seattle is on a 4-game win streak and haven't lost in a month. Today's the 1-month anniversary. Haven't lost since October 9th. They're also 6-3 against the spread, while the Bucs are 2-6 against the spread. Until you prove me wrong, I'm taking Geno Smith. If you're giving me points with Geno and the Seattle Seahawks, I'm taking it at plus money too. That has value all over it.
Absolutely. Geno is just a dog out there, man. He's out to prove something. And he's a player that could possibly be the comeback player of the year. And he's kind of showing it. And yeah, like you said, giving you plus money, getting you getting points. I think it's a no-brainer. I know you're going against arguably the GOAT, Tom Brady, but they're just haven't been clicking as of late. Leonard Fournette's kind of looking like a dud this year. They're just out of sync. The offensive line hasn't been great. Their defense has been good, but not as great as they were in the last couple of years. Yeah, man, I think you got to ride the hot hand, ride the Seattle Seahawks at plus 2.5. I like it.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people always say, oh, you're going to lose money betting against the GOAT, and I agree with that. For the last 2 decades, absolutely. But there comes a point where you need to take your shots, right? I mean, look at where the Bucs are at now. Look at the shambles of Tom Brady and his life. And yeah, he had a game-winning drive last week, and that's great. And I like Tom Brady, but this season has been very different than other seasons. And if you're paying attention, you can tell. So got to take your shots when they're there, right?
Absolutely. And I like the shot here. All right. We're going to keep it moving, right? Let's keep it moving. I guess we'll go with my next pick, right?
Yes.
We'll go with my next pick. All right. I'm gonna take the over 50 points, which is kind of crazy because we're talking about the Jaguars here, but I'm gonna take my shots on over 50 in the Chiefs and Jaguars game. The one thing for certain, the Jaguars they play absolutely no defense when they're on the road, like none whatsoever. They're a team that goes over. They have gone over all 4 games on the road. They're giving up on average 25 points per game away from home. And now they're going against one of the most prolific offenses in the Chiefs. I can't fathom they're going to be able to hold them to less than 30 points. I mean, you're talking about a team that gave up 34 points to Matt Ryan on the road. I can't see Patrick Mahomes just not putting up at least, like 5 touchdowns some way, somehow, or even defensive touchdowns too. So if that's the case, if they put up 30 to 40 points, all the Jaguars really have to do is put up 17 to 20. And I kind of expect that to happen. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is not great, but he should be able to at least muster up 2 touchdowns. Travis Etienne, Christian Kirk, somebody's got to get in that end zone. So ultimately, I think Mahomes goes in there and, puts a hurting on the Jags, but the Jags kind of at least be able to score a little bit, and we get that over 50. And 3 out of those 4 away games have hit over the 50 point total. So I'm expecting another one to hit here as well.
Beautiful. Yeah, that is a lot of points there. But
yes, it is. It's not something I really want to do, but I'm like I said, I can't go against the numbers here. They're 4-0 on the over on the road. They're giving up a ton of points, and I just need the Jags to muster up 17 points. That's all I need. Just like 17 points. The Chiefs could do all the rest.
Garrett, let me ask you, does it sound like this is coming through my microphone, or does it sound like it's coming through my computer?
That sounds like the microphone to me.
For real? It's crisp?
Yeah, it sounds good.
All right.
You're Gucci.
Trust you. This audio, I don't know if it was last week, I don't know if it worked last week, but my audio is all jacked up. I can't see if it's coming through the microphone or not. It does sound crispy though.
Yeah, you sound good, man.
All right. Because you can tell the difference when it's coming through the computer and through the microphone.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yo, if we're gonna be potting, dude, it needs to be working.
Absolutely.
So we're taking it to New York Giants, Texans versus Giants. I mentioned the Texans earlier, but Giants remain a top 9 scoring offense, while Houston defense remains the biggest piece of shit in the NFL. Houston's offense isn't any better. They rank 30th in the league in net yards and are averaging just over 16 points per game. Not good. Giants still have a great record against the spread, 6-2. Texans injury report, take a look at it, pretty lengthy. Something to monitor as well. In my mind, Saquon Barkley is going to feast on the league's worst run defense. We mentioned that earlier. Houston averages giving up 180 yards on the ground per game. In their last 3 games, even more, 207 rushing yards per game. Woof, that's rough. Saquon Barkley going to feast against this. I'll lay the 5 here with the Giants. No sweat.
Yeah, I mean, fading the Texans is always a good strategy, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I mean, I don't think David Mills could really come back. Dameon Pierce actually just got put on the injury report today as well. He's questionable to play. So a lot of the guys are banged up. Brandon Cooks doesn't really want to be there, so who knows if he's going to really put in a lot of time. Nico Collins is kind of banged up as well. I know he's going to probably play, but he's been injured the last couple of weeks, so we'll see. I just don't expect the Texans to really muster up a ton of points.
Yeah, they both popped up on that report as well that I was looking at.
Yeah, I don't got much left for the Sunday slate, so you could keep it moving.
All right, my last Sunday game before we get into some prop stuff is Cowboys -5. The Cowgirls against the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau. Packers defense sucks. Their offense isn't any better. Their offense ranks 27th in scoring, barely averaging over 17 points per game. Dallas's defense, on the other hand, only allowing just over 16 points per game, which is 3rd best in the NFL. So only 2 other teams are giving up less points. Pretty insane. That doesn't bode well for Aaron and the Packers, because the Packers are 0-5 in their last 5 games. They have absolutely no momentum whatsoever. They were talking about benching. When do you bench Rodgers on TV today? It was either on First Take, Get Up, something like that. They were like, whoa, when do you start thinking about benching Rodgers? Bro, if you're talking about that, you're in trouble. Dallas just beat the bricks off the Bears, 49-29. They beat up on the Lions 24-6. The NFC North is not having a good day against the Cowboys. Cowboys averaging 27 points per game in their last 5 games. At a modest 5 points, I will lay the 5 with the Cowboys against the Packers at home.
I like it. And then you also look at the Packers playmakers are all injured. Sammy Watkins is injured. Romeo Doubs is injured. Christian Watson's injured. Everybody. He's got Alan Lazard and Tunyon is his top 2 wide receivers out there. And then he's got his running backs. That's it. That's really it. He's got nobody.
How many red zone interceptions did he throw last week? 2 or 3?
I think it was 3.
Yeah, not good. Timing is off. There's no way I could back the Packers on this.
No, I mean, and like you said, one of the best defense in the league. He's got no one to really throw to. He threw 3 interceptions in the red zone against one of the worst defenses in the league. That's not good. I can't figure that out at all.
Now we are getting into props and PrizePicks. Guys, PrizePicks, if you've played PrizePicks before, you know how it is. You pick more than, less than on props from players, all first-time players, all first-time users. If you deposit $100, you will get instantly 100% deposit match up to $100. You deposit $100, you get $100 back. So check it out. It's fun to play. That is PrizePicks. So we're kind of doing this hand in hand, PrizePicks as well as props, because they are essentially the same thing. So let me know what you got, Garrett.
Well, we already went over one. I'm just gonna touch a little bit more based on that. Cordero Patterson is one of my favorite, props and my favorite PrizePicks this week, because he should be able to feast on the Carolina Panthers' terrible front 7. He's gonna probably get I would say 15 to 20 touches. I feel like he's more well equipped. He's in better shape. He looked healthy coming out of that last game. No injuries, no setbacks. I think he's ready to go for this this Thursday night game. And it's more than 53.5 rushing yards. I think that's a steal. You're talking about even if he has just 12 attempts, he only needs less than between 4 and 4.5 yards, per rush, which is pretty easy against a Panthers team. So I'm taking him more than 53.5 rushing yards. That's definitely clear. It could be any more straightforward than that. And my next one, I'm going to take Kirk Cousins less than 265.5 passing yards. Kirk Cousins is not the greatest road, quarterback. He looked pedestrian against Washington. Yeah, or primetime. He looked very pedestrian against his old team in Washington last week, and he had to ride the defense to really get him through it. And I feel like that's going to be more of the same this time. And the Bills are one of the premier defenses in the league. I believe they're top 5 against the pass. I think it's going to be more of him managing the game and just making enough plays if they were to win, and just to do enough to win. I don't think he's going to go out there and just start slinging the ball around and start dotting up this defense. It's just not going to happen. Not in Buffalo. And I feel like they're going to have to lean on their defense and just controlling the clock, running the ball, and being methodical and just moving the chains and using up that clock to keep the ball out of, if Josh Allen is playing, to keep out of Josh Allen's hands.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think it makes sense. Buffalo Bills, one of the top 3 defenses in the league. So if you got a quarterback going against him, less than is usually the play, the smarter thing to do when it comes to that. I'm looking at this has got to be some plus money. If you're looking at anytime touchdown, we touched on it earlier. Kenneth Walker. Kenny walks. Why? Kenneth Walker, he ranks 4th most touchdowns by a running back this season. He's doing it quietly too, because he's playing, with Seattle. But this dude balls out. 27 red zone attempts, 5 red zone touchdowns. So out of those, I believe I said 7 touchdowns he had, 5 of those came in the red zone. Obviously, 27 red zone attempts. So he's getting the touches. Once they get inside the 20, he's getting all the touches there. So Kenny Walker, look for an anytime touchdown. It's got to be pretty close to plus money. You might want to look at yards on that as well. But I like him for anytime touchdown. As far as yards go, DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams, kind of depending on who's going to play, but I would take both of those overs. I mentioned it earlier. Chicago, Detroit, Houston have the 3 worst run defenses in football, going against a team with a very good run game and these 2 running backs. It's very hard to determine who's going to be the lead back. I have both of them on my fantasy team, so I'll usually either play one in a flex and one is my running back, depending on their health. We know DeAndre Swift has had some health issues as of recent, but this should slap just because, like I said, the defense they're going against in the Chicago Bears are terrible. So that's that.
That is that. And, no Roquan Smith, so they should be able to, run right through that.
Last one I had here, too, I mentioned it earlier, Saquon Barkley, over on the yards and anytime touchdown. I think he finds the end zone as well. So those are all of our props / prize picks for Sunday.
I love it, man. I think we're going to smack. We hit some nice ones last week, and we're riding the wave, and keep it moving this week.
Yeah, and you know what, Garrett? Even if they don't smack, we're still providing value for people, statistical information, and analysis. So if you don't like it, then go the opposite way. I don't care. Fade or follow, we don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. But we love to bring you guys, as much information as we could possibly give you. Hopefully put some money into your pocket. And we just love being here talking some football with you guys every single Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Damn straight. Garrett, I will see you next week. We're going to chop up some of these clips because I know some of these are going to be smacking. So
absolutely.
We'll be chopping them up, and I will catch you next week.
Absolutely, bro. I'll see you then.
Thank you guys for watching Playmaker Football Betting Show. We'll see you next Wednesday.
See you then.